I'm here, and Josh Morris is back in the studio with us. Josh is an OG on Downright Mindful, and we've given him credit for even maybe being a founder of Downright Mindful. It's all because of you that we have these conversations, man. So it's good to be back with you. How's it going?
Man, it's doing pretty good. You know, it's just work is busy, life is busy, but I'm really excited to be in the room. I know I've seen pictures of it. We've talked about it since we moved from our original spot at the Pie Center. This is just incredible, all the things you're doing, just seeing the setup. It really just makes me jealous that I need to have a room in my house and my wife would let me to have all this ready to go.
Yeah, there's nothing like turning your study into a little podcast studio, man. It's a lot of fun. Now you're here. We skidded in on two wheels, man. This was last minute.
Yeah.
You were Johnny on the spot, hero of the situation. Paul and I went this week and recorded with the band Monday Night Social. Are you familiar with them?
I've not, but I saw y'all's post on Facebook about it, so I'm going to have to check them out.
Buddy, this is, first of all, it's Christian Mann's band. Christian's a colleague of ours. He's even been on the show before. I have heard them live before. They've cut a new album that's going to be coming out soon, and everybody will hear all about it next week on the podcast. But they sat with us and we talked through their creative process. And hey, like, there's three highly capable adults in the room here. How do y'all make decisions with each other?
Yeah,
creatively and logistically. So they talked through that. But the overwhelming like star of the show was the stories of. They even played some songs for us. We got to play like 3 songs for us. They're awesome. But to hear them tell the stories of those songs and how they were written, just brought so much more brevity maybe to the situation. Just an overwhelming experience for us, man. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful piece of art that they're putting out. So that'll be on the podcast next week. But I said all that to say, because I didn't want to affect their band sound, I had those guys record the track, and they were going to get me the track, and we ended up talking for like 2 hours. And,
man, it's easy to do, especially like you don't realize, even though you hit the record button, do all those things, you just start talking, and before you know it, those things happen quick.
Yeah, and we could have talked more. You know, we kind of cut off and maybe left some things out that I wanted to talk about, but Christian got back with me, and he's like, "Hey, man," and I knew they were flying out and going on a social studies trip to Washington, D.C., literally like the next day.
Yeah.
He's got to finish the podcast, pack his bag, fly out the next morning. So he's like, I just can't get it done. So we're going to postpone that for a week. But they called me, and this is a story all in itself. And if you know Paul, you know he's a different character, right? Could you say that with no context?
I could say that no context. Like,
he's the guy that specifically he's a guy that if he can find the long way to arrive at a place, he'll drive that way. Or if he can walk, he'll walk there. You know, he's just a different dude. So he calls me last night, and he's like, "Hey, man, I got good news and bad news." And I was like, "All right, just hit me with it." And he said, "Well, the good news is we missed our flight, and we're driving all night to D.C."
That does not sound like good news.
And I could hear people hollering in the background. There's 8 of them in a minivan, and I could hear people hollering in the background for him referring to that as good news. But
oh my God,
he's right in his element. They're packed in that van, driving on. They were going to leave at, I forget what time, and arrive at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And but he said the bad news is we're not going to be able to make this Monday Night Social podcast happen this week. So I was like, well, and I had the thought, the first person I thought of was Josh Morris. I thought, man, I hate to disrespect Josh and ask him this late notice. So I'm going to try to figure something out. But if I see Josh tomorrow, and do I see you every day?
No, you don't. And you don't even know when I'm going to come.
Not even close. I might see you once a month, right?
Yeah.
If I see Josh tomorrow, I'm asking him to come and hang out with me for the podcast this week. And one of the first people I saw this morning, Josh Morris. So thanks for for stepping into that spot, man, and allowing us to be consistent with our delivery on podcast. And I'm excited to talk to you. I'm excited to catch up with you, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm excited just to be on the other side of it because, like for my show, like I'm always the one getting people or getting the ideas.
Yeah.
So even like before when we talked about it and agreed to today, I'm like, what are we going to talk about? And you gave me that look and I was like, you know what? I don't even want to know. It just makes it fun to have that, again, like genuine conversation that happens no matter what the topic is.
Yeah, we're going to talk about whatever we think about, man.
Yes, whatever pops into your brain and whatever rabbit trails.
Yeah. You just mentioned something. Can we call this a Downright Mindful Tech Flush collaboration?
Oh, I love that. And we got to have the tech flush sound in there, the toilet flush that happens.
So Downright Mindful and the Tech Flush.
Oh, gosh. You were looking at me like I needed to say something and my brain just kind of...
No, it's good, man. So Tech Flush. Tell me a little bit about the Tech Flush. For those of our listeners that don't know about the Tech Flush, what could they expect by tripping on your podcast?
Oh gosh. So really most of it's like a one-man show. It's just me kind of blabbing in a room by myself. And I say blabbing, but sometimes just when you have those words that come out instead of just in your brain, I think that triggers some things.
Sure.
So it's fun for me to come up with these ideas to talk about, but then when I say them out loud, sometimes mid-show, it's like, well, we're going to go this direction or we're going to go that direction. And then it really just kind of helps me with other things that I do with my job.
Yeah, so it's a one-man unscripted podcast.
Yeah, loosely, for me, like loosely scripted. I might have some ideas and kind of those.
Some talking points,
and just kind of go from there. But when we have some guest on the show, just depending on who it is, they kind of like more scripted things or more of the questions. But what the secret is, sometimes I'll give them those points, but then I totally go off script and I ask them other things. So I have like almost 2 scripts ready to go.
Yeah.
Because I want them to be comfortable, but at the same time, I don't want them to have scripted answers. Because, that's the biggest thing we talked about when we first set up for your show. Just genuine conversations. I think that's key. Nobody wants to listen to a scripted show. I know I've listened to podcasts before and it sounds scripted like they're reading from a piece of paper. And it's like, man, I'm not doing that. We're going to go to the next one. So I love that feel. And I hope I bring that to the listeners that listen to the show. Just being genuine, even if it's just me. Just genuine thoughts, genuine words, and just sharing some tech love, educational tech love.
Yeah, and I think you do. And I will tell you, I have definitely benefited not only from filling time and thought because that's what I do. I fill time and thought, and I seek skills. And your podcast specifically has helped me seeking skills. I've told you a million times, Control D, like that. I got that from the Tech Flush, and I love that. I literally use it all the time, and it's the simplest little thing, and I probably should have already known it, but I know it now because of the Tech Flush. And then everything from Notebook LM to Bricks, all of those things that I'm implementing or not implementing or testing or trying, I get a lot of those from the Tech Flush. And the what's the newsletter?
The Potty PD.
The Potty PD.
And that's really, I don't know if I've told you this story, but that's really how the Tech Flush came to be.
Okay.
So like when I first started in this role as was a technology coach, now I'm an innovation specialist, aka again, tech coach.
Okay.
But I can remember my first year, I didn't really listen to podcasts, books on tape, like all those things seemed silly to me. And I'm like, why would anybody do that? Like, this is boring. But so Scott, in this office, he would podcast for NASCAR, and they did some things before I got into this job as a technology department. And so when the Pi Center started, he starts pulling his podcasting table, all of his equipment from his office to the studio that we have in the Pi Center. And I was like, what is this kind of stuff? And we started talking about it, and I was like, that's really cool. That would be neat for us to start it again, do all these things with it as a department. But then from there, that kind of put on the back burner just those thoughts of like, didn't even think about starting my own show.
Yeah.
And then we talked about this idea of a Potty PD as a group. And so it's just a quick little flyer put in the bathrooms, which I've gotten the most not laughing people, most traction from, I feel like, at the high school, because I've had some teachers tell me, hey, listen, I was going to the bathroom today, and then I looked over, and there it was. And I was like, that's a lot of information you just shared with me, but it's fun that, you guys are enjoying that. And so from there, I'm like, I really got to get on this podcasting, like sharing ideas. I started listening to some. The first one I ever listened to was this guy named Jeff Bradbury. And I don't remember the topic that he had, but it was so genuine. I felt like even though I didn't see his face, he was like sitting right next to me and sharing these words. So I'm like, all right, we got to figure something out. And I kept kind of waiting for somebody to help me. But then I was like, you know what? We're just going to do it. So I started ChatGPTing some ideas, some words, and I really wanted to play off that potty PD so they could go together. I mean, I had like the flush of knowledge for show names, all kinds of funness. Yeah. And so then the tech flush came to be. So
the tech flush.
And then we also I do a, speaking of that whole idea from potty PD to tech flush, in the show, we have the toilet flush. So I think it's just you're playing off that potty idea. So that's where we have our like short little clip of knowledge, little tech tip. Yeah. So I flush the toilet on there every time. I think it's funny.
It is funny. And it's good stuff. And your artwork matches the theme, everything about
little porta potty with headphones.
Yeah, a little porta potty with headphones. I love it, man. I love it. And then how long after that did you come to me and say, hey, you ever thought about doing this?
Oh, goodness. That was,
I think you were like 30 episodes in, weren't you? Or were you?
Maybe. It was like season 2, so probably like 30-ish episodes, somewhere around there.
Okay.
And I just know like with podcasting, even like what you're doing or what I'm doing, I think about what our students can do. Because it's really, to be able to speak in a recording and talk, sometimes we're going to use words that we use in everyday language, but sometimes it's more that professional setting. And I feel like being able to communicate clearly, being able to communicate our ideas in a way that makes sense to everybody, and really anybody can listen to it without you totally sounding, and I say this, but like a goober. Like you're not going to stand in front of people and present and sound awful. Back to this like goober idea.
Yeah.
And so I feel like a podcasting really just hits so many notes, especially with our kids, and especially in this world of AI, where they can, hey, I'm going to write a paper. Let's just go on there and it formulates all those things. But can you talk about it? So I feel like when I think about those, then I came to you and I was like, hey, listen, it'd be awesome for your kids, these kind of things. And then it was like, well, actually, I've already been thinking about this, which was incredible that I didn't know that from you. You didn't know that I did stuff.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome to see it morph to where you are today for your show.
Yeah, man. And we've bounced around for a while. And I would say that we're pretty much going in a direction now, I think. And it Downright Mindful kind of is what it is. Not to say we're not growing or changing or learning still, because we are. It's like,
oh, you have
sometimes
to.
It's like drinking from a fire hose. At first, especially, it was, but at first it was like, hey, we have these conversations, and then also our content kind of bumps into each other, so we could leave it. But what happened was like, when some people first heard that we were collaborating together, they would assume that it was a content collaboration, and they wanted to make it a school thing, and Paul and I would talk, and we want, that's always going to be true.
Yeah.
I am still in love with the law and the justice system in the United States, and it's going to spill into my conversations all the time.
Oh, every episode you've got, there's something that's come up from your past or things like that.
Yeah, sure. And Paul is the same way with sociology, history, and we're both husbands, fathers, Christians, all of those things. But we wanted to kind of reserve just outright clarifying it as an educational collaboration. That way we could pretty much own it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That way I don't have to think. I still kind of watch what we say, and we try to be respectful and stay evergreen as we can. But I don't have to. At the end of the day, I can pretty much say what I want.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. And even to the point that someone high up in the district approached one time and said, "Hey, we want to feature y'all's podcast in this." I won't name what kind of media it is, because then I'm going to give away who it was, and I don't want to do that. And I said, respectfully, I appreciate you, first of all, but it's not really that. It's not really, I don't want to tie it to Bradley Schools in that way, because that's not what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's me and Paul, right?
Yeah. And I think even from our beginning of our conversations, when y'all started trying to figure out your identity for the show and go down that path, it never really was. Yes, you had some educational things in there, but it was really just y'all talking and just talking, either education in your lives, things that are happening, stories, how do you relating to this, to that. And you're just making it a very unique spot in the podcasting world.
Yeah. But I will bookend that podcast conversation with thanks for the nudge, man. I know we've said it before, and I'll continue to say it, and I'll never forget it. Thanks for the nudge, and thanks for even walking us out into the water. You know, you did that, so I'll go with that metaphor. But I'm going to make a hard turn. You ready?
Let's do it.
You listening to Christmas music yet?
Man, I've been listening to Christmas music before Thanksgiving.
Yeah?
My wife is like all about it. As soon as like that feel of Christmas is there, we're like driving down the road and she like puts it on and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's not Thanksgiving yet. And she's like, no, we're ready. We're doing it.
Is the tree up?
The tree's up, man. The tree, every year I think it gets a little sooner. Like before it was like Thanksgiving week. Then it's like the week before. Or this
like
year.
August.
I mean, you just never know. Or like this year we went out of town for Thanksgiving. Yeah. And so she's like, listen, everything has to be up before we leave. And I was like, are you serious? She goes, everything. So we got lights on the house, all the trees decorated. I mean, the elf on the shelf is out there. We're living our Christmas dreams.
She wanted to come home to a winter wonderland.
Yeah, and we did. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
All right. So I'll ask this question. Do you love Christmas music? Do you love this time of year? Do you enjoy the time when it's time to turn on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? You in for that?
Yeah, I think I am totally in. Once it's here, I think part of it, at some point you're like, it's not Thanksgiving yet. But I think once it's here, there's just something magical about Christmas music. Whether you're religious or you're not, I think there's just something really magical about the music you only listen to for a month and a half of the year. Yeah. All the lights that go on there's just something that stirs in you, I feel like, that just makes it feel awesome. Like putting Christmas lights on my house, man, that is work.
Yeah.
But putting them up is awesome. I love putting them up.
You go pretty out there? You go pretty
we kind of
big?
add every year. So like first couple of years we had a couple blow ups, and then the next year we add some lights on our bushes, and then we added some of those projector LED lights that go on there. Then it was like, let's put them on our roofs. This year I found these lights. Oh gosh, what is I don't remember the brand name, but they're like string lights that come down off. You can put them on the side of your house, and they coordinate to like scenes. So you can put like, I don't know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on there, Santa Claus, and they kind of go with your lights.
Oh,
a little
wow.
more expensive. My wife's not really big on me spending them, but like they're awesome. But I don't know if we're going to go down that path, but we try to add something every year.
How many storage totes are you up to?
We've got 4 right now.
4?
And they're packed.
Yeah.
Now, most of them are like the blow-ups, but blow-ups, unfortunately, don't last forever.
No?
So we had like a Mickey. I think Minnie's still around. We had a Santa Claus that's still rocking it. We had this candy cane archway. So our sidewalk go to the front of our house would go right there in front of our door.
Clark Griswold over here.
Now, I don't know if I'm not Clark Griswold. He had 15,000 extension cords, but I think he about burned his house down.
Yeah, he didn't have LEDs though.
That's true. I don't know if they had them back in the day, though.
I wouldn't think so.
No.
I wouldn't think so.
Or then you got to think, too, I think it's the same idea of, like, mowing your yard. I don't know how you are with your neighbors, but if you mow your yard, your neighbor thinks, oh, now I got to mow my yard.
I got to mow my yard, yeah.
So I got this neighbor across the street, and they'll put a little Christmas lights out. I was like, Amber, we can't let them beat us. And so then we'll go add something.
We got to make a stand.
Yes. We got to do it. And what's tough this year is now there's other people in our neighborhood that have never put Christmas lights on, and now they're doing it. So like my wife came home the other day and she's like, Josh, you're going to have to pick your game up. Go look outside. And I go downstairs and these people on their roof have, instead of just doing the outline of their roof, they've got lines going down the tops of it. And I was like, oh gosh, Amber, we got to buy more lights. I don't want to buy more lights, but we might have to.
Yeah, the Joneses down here, they got these, I can't look at that every morning when I leave the house. All right, with that theme, give me your desert island Christmas song.
Oh gosh, the one Christmas song that I could listen to forever.
That's the only one you get to keep.
Man.
You don't have to listen to it on repeat forever.
I'm gonna repeat.
But if you want to listen to a Christmas song, this is the only one you've got.
I don't know. I think you got to keep some of those good ones. Like, I don't know. First one pops in my head, like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right?
That's pretty good.
Because you can sing it the normal way, or you can add like the little flavor that the kids like to do, you know, with Monopoly and, all those kind of
George
things.
Washington.
Yeah. I think that's kind of fun.
So you're going with that?
Yeah, let's go with Rudolph. Why not?
So
That's
you're
classic.
just a fun guy. That's
Got to be. But
fun.
Christmas is that way. I feel like,
Yeah.
especially, when you go down the south side of town and you got the Christmas lights that people would put in their front yard.
They still doing that on Blue
They
Springs?
still do it. Opens up Thanksgiving night. Still do it.
They got like a whole parking lot out there now, don't they?
Mm-hmm. That used to be you just poured in their grass. I think they put a bunch of gravel out there. I mean, it's a big deal.
If you had to guess, how much money are we talking? If you started from zero and wanted to get to that, can you get me within a couple grand of how much that would cost a man?
Gosh. And you got to think most of that, they've probably bought some things when everything was start skyrocketing prices.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've probably got, 5 to 10 grand in it at least.
Okay.
And then they've got a system now where they just plug in the music and it does all the. Have you been there in a while?
I haven't been there in probably, I would say 4 or 5 years.
Oh man, you got to go. You got to go today.
I don't know about that.
Listen, so before they just played like random songs, right?
Yeah.
Now they have like you can go to a website and you can vote for your songs.
Oh, shut up.
That's serious, man. I mean, that's like, we'll look when we pull in with my kids, we'll look on the
Are we
website.
still like tuning our FM dial to a certain
station you got to go to? I don't remember what it is. It's like a 99 point something. But you go through and you can see all like 30 songs that are loaded and you vote on the song that you want. And depending on how many votes there are, you can move your song up to the top.
Yeah.
So like my wife's voting, I'm voting, we're doing it on different browsers because my kids look at it and my kids are like, Dad, we got to have this song. We got to have that song. And so we're like trying to get our songs to the top.
So y'all are like, hey, kids, y'all want to jump in our car and go with us? And you've got 7 iPads in the back and y'all are just controlling the playlist.
Trying to. But when you're there, you're not there. It's not a quick thing. If you can get through their light show quickly, there's not a lot of people there. Most of the time, you're 4 to 5 rows deep in their yard, and the idea is cars in the front sit for 3 songs, and then you either you can rotate around to the back to do it again, or you just leave. And so most of the time we're there for 3 songs, 4 to 5 minutes apiece. So like figure 12 to 15 minutes.
Now, do we have any like South Bradley County road rage incidents happening when the car doesn't rotate?
Sometimes I've been out there before. Somebody's honked a horn or they'll flash their lights or people are yelling because, hey, your lights aren't off. So like even our van's like so fancy. I got to turn my van off, put it in, I got to put the parking brake on and then like it's insane. And every year we have to lit even just the running lights. And so every year we got to look those up. But it's fun to go out there and sit. Now you can walk over and you can walk through some scenes, take pictures.
Yeah.
They've got some really cool stuff going on.
Now, remind me again, just a general age range of your kids.
They're 8 and 10.
So they're prime, like,
they love
it's
it.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Gosh, that's so much fun, man.
It is fun. And it really, like, growing up, I don't remember a whole lot of, like, traditions that we did. And whether we did them or not, like, I just don't remember them. But my wife remembers hers. So, like, anytime for Christmas, it's like, we have to do this every year. We have to do that. And when my kids were little, it's like, why are we, like, the Christmas lights, why are we going to drive down there and see them? We saw them last year, no big deal. But we always do it, Josh. We always do this. Or, like, Elf on the Shelf. Like, man, when that elf comes back, it's a lot of work. But to keep that tradition of things that we do, it's been a lot of fun to do that, from putting lights on the house to all those things.
Yeah. That's creating memories, man.
Yeah.
Creating a lot of memories. And those things stick around. Like, I'm sure right now, let's just see. Tell me something about your childhood. Some some memory that stands out to you this time of year, or maybe something you think of, and it could be a tradition, it could be a moment that you remember. Anything come to mind?
So growing up, my dad was in the military. But hey, before we get to that, what about your Christmas lights on your house? You keep asking me questions. You got lights on your house?
See, you're testing me now, and I'm like I get accused of being the Grinch all the time, and that's not true.
Now, when Kyler was here, did you put lights up? Did those things for him, or is it just
about the most we've ever done on the exterior of the home was we would line the porch with just a string of light. It was very clean, very decent looking, whatever you want to call it, and very easy. And that was about it. That's about the most Christmas lights I've ever done. Now of course, the interior of our house will have, different pillows on the couch and different sashes here and a wreath on the door that's not, we usually do like a seasonal wreath. Well, obviously this is the Christmas season, so it'll be a Christmas wreath, and then the Christmas tree and all the things. But I'm a guy that I don't want the McRib to be around for 6 months. I want it to be around for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to miss it for 50 weeks. And then when it comes back for those 2 weeks, I'm going to savor every little bit of it. So I delay that as much as I can. I made just in jest and in fun, I made a Facebook post just right before Thanksgiving.
I saw that one.
You saw, I was like, I better not see any Christmas trees for 3 more days. But that was just to have fun with folks, because while I do choose how I celebrate Christmas or don't celebrate at certain times, I do not judge, and I know that people, there's part of me that wishes, like, I wish I could go for 2 months and celebrate Christmas and it still feel like that. But I'm not that guy.
No, that's all right. And I feel like even this time of year, it's always a fun conversation of like,
oh yeah,
hey, what do you do? And it's every year we have the same conversation with the same people, and it's just it's good
and I
fun.
love to troll people about it, But I think Desert Island Christmas Song for me is going to be very classic. It's going to be very the actual message. And I'm going, Oh Holy Night.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I can't, I don't think I can beat that. A thrill of hope. Our weary world rejoices. That's what, I've tried to, especially even as I get older, and we're in different seasons of life. My son's, he's going to be 22 by the time Santa Claus comes again.
Yeah.
And, we've peeled some things back, and especially at Christmas, we try to get closer and closer to what actual Christmas is, and we enjoy that. And, I'll go on and troll and joke with people about what humanity has turned Christmas into, and you've ruined it and all that. And I say all of it in fun and just in rage baiting people. But I do, there is some truth for me personally to that of just scaling it back and really sort of trying to get my mind to a place of, here's this whole Jewish people. There were people our age on the earth then that, their doubts and fears were very different from what ours are, because they were seeking righteousness through the law, and in hopes that the promised Messiah would come one day. And this happened for hundreds and hundreds of years. So as a human, they had to become so weary and so just beat down with doubt and all of those things. So when he is delivered to the world, it's one of the most special things that has or ever will happen to humanity. So that'd be at the core of it. And that's why Oh Holy Night, and Oh Holy Night's a bomb melody, and it's been done so many ways very well. So I think I'm going to go with that as my Desert Island.
I like that
Christmas song.
And I think especially sometimes with the Christmas season, like when you've got kids, they always want to listen to the fun ones.
Oh yeah. And I can get into that. Yeah. Hey man, like a week and a half out, I'm in. Like we're singing He's a Mean One, Mr. Green, all the stuff, all the fun ones. I'm all the way in. let's see, Frosty the Snowman. I freaking love Frosty the Snowman when it comes that time. And yeah, what was the question I asked you when we reverted back?
When we talk about like not rituals, but
Like memories.
memories, certain
memories,
things
something.
you do.
Yeah.
So really didn't grow up around here, but like because my dad was in the military, so he retired in '98. We moved here, so I was like 7th grade.
Okay.
But I can always remember when we came into town, whether it was Christmas or, I guess normally Christmas. I don't know why I'm thinking other times. But at Christmas, we'd go to my grandparents, my nanny and my papa, and my nanny would make chocolate houses. She would pour milk chocolate. She had these molds. She'd pour them in there,
I'm in.
and she'd build these houses, right?
Yep, I'm in.
Put them on cardboard. You had parchment paper going on. And all of us cousins would get around at her house, and we would decorate chocolate houses. There'd be candy for days on the table, and and she'd make icing, and your icing was your glue, and you had to like decorate your house. And the younger you are, you're just throwing stuff on there. But then the older you get, you start seeing how my nanny did it or my parents are doing it, and you start getting your pretzels and the stick pretzels, and you're making fences. You're getting those. Not vanilla wafers. They're that you can break them up. I guess like not vanilla wafers, but they're wafers. They got like the cream in the middle. You can take them apart like a Nutter Butter.
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that. I don't remember the official name.
I don't either.
But you take those apart and you cut them so you have window shutters.
Yeah.
All the things that you can think of. Candy canes that line the sidewalks. I can remember that as a young kid, like doing that. And we still do that today. So like my mom has kind of taken over for my kids.
Yeah.
And my nephews and nieces. And so we're actually going to do that this weekend.
Okay.
We're going to go and we're going to do that at my parents'. So it's exciting to continue to do stuff like that. I can remember that. That's pretty big. And then I can remember my dad. I don't remember it so much as a kid, but I remember it more now as an adult. My dad loves the original Frosty the Snowman. Not Frosty the Snowman.
Rudolph.
The original Rudolph. Miracle on 34th Street.
There you go.
All those classic ones. And he's like, all right, we're gonna watch these shows.
Yeah.
And I can do the Rudolph one. Miracle on 34th Street, awesome movie.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know, it's just not something that I kind of grew up we're watching all the time. My dad loves it and he wants to watch it. He could watch it on repeat.
When he was a kid, he probably watched it and it was really super
It was
special.
live.
It was even an old movie then, probably. Yeah.
So.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. When you think of those memories, do you carry smells and emotions and all of the things that fill in those gaps?
Yeah, I can remember like decorating those houses. I can remember sitting downstairs. My grandparents lived in Riceville, so they had this big basement. I can remember everything spread out, all the cousins sitting down there. My nanny would make us aprons. So I have like an apron, still have it when I was a kid that we'd wear and our names are on them. I could just remember just being together and doing that. And now when my kids do it, I can remember, like, it kind of brings you back to looking at it. It's like, I remember doing, and every year it's like, I remember this, or you're like, hey, listen, you should really take those wafers, break them apart to make your window shutters, or you start coming up with fun ideas again.
It's just kids are like, gosh, where'd you learn this?
Yeah, they're like, Dad, that's silly. We're not doing that. Dad, I want to do it my way. And you're like, all right, fine. It's not going to look as good as what I did, but sure. Yeah. But it's it's really fun to do that, be around family, just those moments that we almost throughout the year. I feel like sometimes we just don't get together enough, and there's just, again, like Christmas is a magical time. We're celebrating Jesus Christ, we're doing all those things, but at the same time, it's being around family consistently.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a busy time, but to be able to hang out and do these chocolate houses or watch your movies, it's not something you do all the time. And really, Christmas brings that. I guess it brings the best out of us at times to wanted to be together and do all these things.
Yeah, for sure. And it at least lends to the fact that, hey, this is the reason for the Christmas celebration is a big enough deal to cause me to be able to slow down and build chocolate houses like a silly goose in the house with all the kids and without a care in the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's special, man. That's a big deal. I mentioned Frosty the Snowman earlier, and for some reason, and I told this story to somebody the other day, I don't remember it. necessarily enjoying this moment any more than I enjoyed any other Christmas memory. But when I was a kid at Michigan Avenue Elementary School, we had a little play around the Christmas time, and it was Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah.
And this kid gets up and he sings this song. It's called like Every Snowman Needs a Hat or something like that. It's like a B track in the Frosty the Snowman record. But for some reason, and he didn't sing it exceptionally well or nothing like that. It's just for some reason that song always comes to my mind, and like I can smell that gymnasium, and I can feel that like carefree feeling. And I didn't have a care in the world, man.
Yeah.
Here's all the people I see at school are here, and they're dressed up, and all their parents and grandparents are here, you know. And that's stacked on top of countless memories at my grandparents' house. We go to my grandparents' house every Christmas Eve night, and there'll be like 40 of us, and you'll have like a gift exchange and all the food in the world and things that the ladies and the gentlemen, sometimes they don't whip out these recipes except for once a year.
One time a year. Yeah.
you get all the good stuff. And so that is a special time, but it's when we leave, first of all, when we're on the way to there and when we leave there and come home. Now, this is all the way from when I was a small kid up until last year. That's when I listen to Christmas music, and it is the most special thing to me. It's some of it's really serious, some of it's really fun, and I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. You know, it's all goofy and silly, and then there's the silent nights and all of that. But yeah, that's some memories for me. So. I love talking about it. I'm not, all the ice hasn't melted off my Grinch heart just yet.
Except for the lights.
But it's coming. It's coming. But yeah, man, that's fun to think about. It's fun to talk about.
Oh yeah. And I feel like, especially, I don't know, it's just this like Thanksgiving and Christmas seasons that you really have packed so many things in with family. I feel like that's more of not the rest of the year you're not having memories or traditions, but there's really, again, something about this season that we're in that, you know, from Thanksgiving till, I guess, January, depends on when you start packing up your Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
But there's just really something special about looking forward to this time period, whether you've got your favorite food that your grandma makes or your wife makes or whoever. There's just something, again, there's something so special about it. And it could be the real reason for why we're celebrating it, or maybe it's getting family together and it's that too. Like, I don't know. It really is a magical time.
It is. So let's go to the other side of that. And you kind of alluded to it just a second ago. First of all, Clark Griswold, are you a guy that's going right after Christmas and looking for the sales on the Christmas trees and the Christmas lights and the blow ups? And
I probably should be, but I really don't. I don't know. I've never been one for that. Now, my wife, on the other hand, like, we're going to Walmart because we're getting wrapping paper for $0.25.
Yeah.
We're getting boxes for $0.05. Like, all the things, like, she's trying to get those deals for next year.
yeah, she's a planner.
She's all about it.
She's
Now,
a planner.
usually she'll drag me along, and so we'll go and I'll find something. Maybe it's a good deal. But really, honestly, you would think some of those Christmas lights would still be there. Yeah. But I guess as Christmas comes to a close, a lot of the stuff is already on sale. And people are already buying that. You know,
that would make sense.
You don't see a whole lot of it.
Yeah, if it's 3 days to Christmas, there's not a lot of people going, I think I'm going to decorate this year.
Yeah, most of them are already getting, you know, out the door, trying to move in for the next season, kind of like Hobby Lobby does. But
how long's that Christmas tree staying up?
Oh gosh, it really depends on the year.
February?
There was one year, I think it was like almost February. Even the Christmas lights, I love putting them up. But when it's time to take them down, whether it's a pain in the butt because now you got to take them down, you got to wrap them up, put them back on their toes, try to fix.
You got to try to be pretty meticulous, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because of that part of it, or maybe you just there's some joy when you pull into your driveway at night and your lights are up and you're like, oh, that's fun. You walk and your Christmas tree's up. It's just, you know, it is kind of sad to take them down, but
yeah. And once that Christmas season's over, now it's just January.
Yeah.
And it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. Is that part of it, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. You're still trying to survive on that Christmas feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. But there's been some years I remember as a kid, my parents, like, New Year's Day, January 2nd. All right, taking them down. We're not going back to school yet, so we got a couple days. Let's get it done before we go.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just depends.
It's very cool. Well, Merry Christmas. If I don't get to tell you between now and the 25th, I probably will. But just in case
I'm
I
sure
don't,
I'll see
Merry
you. We got a
Christmas
couple
to
more
you.
weeks of school.
Yeah, we do. Hey, one more hard turn, and then we'll wrap this up. In honor of the tech flush, do you have anything just sitting on the tip of your tongue, something you've been working on recently, or maybe something that's helped you, or maybe you've helped another teacher with that is a tech tip, or a now you don't have to give me your tech tip for your next pod. I'm not asking you to do that, but just something that maybe our listeners could benefit from.
I think, man, I should have known you were going to ask me some tech stuff. And I came into this very open-minded with no ideas or thoughts. I don't know, past couple of weeks, and it just kind of worked out. Like I was listening to a podcast, and again, like AI is a big conversation still.
Sure.
And I think it's always will be. But I've been really fortunate to have a couple of district leaders come in and talk about AI and writing. I had the opportunity just about a week ago to talk to the executive director from this organization called Day of AI. And so really kind of like showcasing district stuff to like national or nationwide. Man, that was tough.
Hey, I mean, we got there.
We got there eventually. Man, can we cut that out? No. So I think having all these conversations, sometimes we forget about the tools that are out there that we can use. And I feel like sometimes those tools can be there, but we're like, no, I can't. I don't want to use it. That's weird. Or not weird, but it's scary because it's different. It's new. Is it going to take over the world? Like, all these like crazy thoughts that people say.
Yeah.
So I really feel like when it comes to tech things, you got to go try them. You got to just, if it sounds interesting, just play with it. You may never like it. There's lots of things that I've heard people talk about, or I've read in an email, and I'll try it, and you're like, nah, that's just not for me. But there's some things that are really incredible. And so I think as far as just like a general tech, maybe not tip or just idea, is just to go out there and try something.
Yeah.
It's even like this, like our podcasting stuff. We talked at the beginning of the show, just the development of things.
Yeah.
And if neither one of us if we just kept that idea in our head and we didn't try it, you wouldn't have been where you are today without just trying it.
No, yeah, that's true.
So I think the biggest thing is just to go out there and try it, see what it can do.
Yeah. I love it, man. You're a big deal to me, and I appreciate you filling in and
Man, anytime.
helping me get
I
content.
know we've talked
delivered.
about it for a long time. Once you transition to your little home podcasting studio here,
Yeah.
we've talked for a long time to come on here and talk, and
Yeah. And we're not done. I got to get you back in the room when Paul's in the room.
I know it. I hate Paul's not here. That's
I
before
know,
the
man.
show. I sent him a picture of myself in the studio here, so
Yeah.
we'll make him a little jealous.
There you go.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah. We miss him when he's gone. He'll be back. I can't wait for him to get back. And I had even explored the thought of like, okay, since you're going to put me in a spot, now you're going to Zoom from like the Lincoln Memorial, and
Yeah.
we're going to, but we, it was just too quick of a turnaround to do any of that. But he'll be back, and he'll have some stories to tell, I'm sure. I think
Yeah,
that
I
would
can't wait to hear about the delayed flight to traveling in a van with a bunch of people,
I know.
which sounds awesome, because I think road trips are awesome when you don't have a direction you're going. You're getting from point A to point B.
Yeah.
And you just go and see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's been some of my favorite road trips I've ever
Well,
taken.
you need to travel with Paul, because he would be all about that.
Yeah.
And, another part of that trip is it's like 7 history teachers traveling to DC.
Oh,
man.
geeking out.
How cool would that be?
That would be cool.
Oh, but yeah. Anyways, again, for our people who are listening, go check out Josh on the Tech Flush. I promise you, no matter your level of understanding of all things tech, you'll pick up helpful tips from him. That's what he does. And he and his team do a great job in Bradley schools, keeping everybody sort of on the edge of innovation. And even given some of us tips like Control D that we should have known but changed our world. By the way, Control D will add your web page or document or whatever it is that you're on to your bookmarks. Yeah. So it's right there for you. If there's something you're accessing all the time, get on there, and that spreadsheet that you're working in every day, get on there and press Control D, put it to your bookmarks, and stop having to search for that thing. So there's the Matt Paris tech tip of the day, which he stole 1,000% from the Potty PD in the men's restroom at Walker Valley High School.
There we go.
But anyways, look forward to talking to you again next week. We'll be with Monday Night Social, and that's going to be a special episode. It will be a longer episode, but it will come with stories of artistry and a journey and some struggle and some songs that came out of it, and they're delivered in such a beautiful way. These are three beautiful people. They have beautiful voices and beautiful talents, and they share them with us next week. So until then, thank you. See you next time.